2026 and 2027, as of now, the final two Avenger movies that I keep saying the final two Avenger movies, but the final Avenger movies that we're getting for now, you have Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Who's not excited about this? I think that it's going to be beyond epic. They're going to try to top themselves and have literally every character that they've already introduced in this film. I even think we're going to get the return of Tony Stark and Cap, and we're also going to get every character from phases 1 through 3, all the new characters from phase 4, like Shang-Chi, Moon Knight. I think that they're going to literally bring in everyone. And on top of that, we're going to get the return of Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman. And it's going to be
together on screen. Childhood full circle.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy epic as far as cameos and just, the sheer amount of characters. It's going to make that scene when Captain America said Avengers Assemble, it's going to make that look like a smaller scale deal. I mean, it's going to be huge. Yeah. That's what I think.
I want Lou Ferrigno's Hulk in the movie. I want David Hasselhoff's Nick Fury. I want Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. I want this to make Super Smash Brothers Ultimate look like a kid playing in his...
Like Brawlhalla.
I want everybody here. If you're going to give me Secret Wars, if you're going to... Because at this point, because everyone understands the concept of a multiverse, everyone understands that any iteration of any project you get now is just... Oh, that's just a different world. I think the Arrowverse did a great job with it with their Crisis of Infinite Earths event. I loved all the cameos and the way they did that. But I mean, when it comes to Avengers Secret Wars, especially with how far away it is in the future, I guarantee you that Marvel, their lawyers are on the phone every single day trying to get anyone that they're able to. And I'm all for it. Not just in the aspect of, hey, I know that person, that's fun. But in servicing this grand epic story, and to say that this universe, these characters that we all know and love, they matter. And they're all coming together to show you the importance of them and to tell this grand epic story that we've been building to this whole time. Even though back in the 80s, they didn't know that this was going to be a thing, but now it is. And they're a part of it. Their legacy is a part of this. Kang Dynasty, I'm excited to see. I think it's still up in the air of what's happening exactly with Jonathan Majors. Whatever happens, ultimately happens, regardless, because I love Avengers movies. But when it comes to Secret Wars, give me the characters I love. Let's go out with a bang. Not that this will be the last MCU film. For some of these characters and some of these actors, as these characters,
last time playing the character.
Let's go balls to the wall. Give it to me.
Absolutely.
I'm right there with Seth. I also think that it would be cool to get characters that were once rumored at one point, or people who were rumored to play a character.
Tom Cruise's Iron Man.
Because then if you kill him off,
come on,
it kind of doesn't matter. Yeah, it sucks. Iron Man just died in a battle, but it's not our Iron Man. Like, you can have collateral without affecting your personal emotions in the movie. This way, when they do have like a crazy death, like an Iron Man type death, you feel that because you've went on this journey with them.
As far as the villain's concerned, I need more convincing of Kang. Kang was great in Quantumania, but I feel like we haven't. Whereas with Thanos, we felt Thanos's right away. Like, we were like, yo, when this man comes to Earth, we are in trouble. I don't feel that with Kang yet. I feel like we got plenty of...
It wasn't a very good idea to let Ant-Man beat him up.
Especially after you say that this man has killed Thor in another universe. It'd be so cool if I got multiple versions, similar to No Way Home, giving us multiple versions. I want to see the Peters meet each other again. I want to see the Council of Reeds, but I want to see the Reed Richards that we saw in Multiverse of Madness meet the one from the early Fox films, even meet the one from Fan Forsted, and meet the one that we have in the current MCU, and the four of them trying to figure out how to stop Kang. And then who steps in creating more conflict? Different Doctor Dooms. I think that would be so freaking cool. Or even like any of our Reed Richards meeting a Tony Stark, and they're trying to see who's smarter. Or like, oh, I created this thing. He's like, oh, that's impressive. I only created a bunch of suits of armor. I was like, I did that when I was 13. Like, just like flexing on something crazy like that. Or even talking about the negative zone, all this stuff. I want to see Hank Pym. I want to see the brains of Marvel, the think tanks, come together. I need Peter to show that he's outgrown the whole Tony Stark thing. How cool would it be if we have a intense situation? Reed Richards can't figure it out. Tony can't figure it out. And Hank Pym can't even figure it out. They're all collaborating, right? And who steps in to look at it from a different perspective, not only as a brainiac, but as someone who knows people and knows how to be a hero more than any of them? If Spider-Man's the hero. And Spider-Man's the one that shows them, wow, he might be a kid, but this kid is better than all of us. Because that's one of the cool things about Spider-Man that I feel like Tom Holland hasn't captured yet, that I feel like Sony sort of crippled Marvel to do. Spider-Man is young. We know this. But when he puts on that mask, 4 heroes even knew who he was under that mask. Every time he takes off his mask and they find out it's a kid, their minds are freaking blown because they thought this man was a grown man. That's how self-sufficient Peter was. I need all these things in Secret Wars.
If there's anything less than what Seth, Angela, and Josh have said, it's going to be a disappointment. They have to bring out all the stops. I can't remember who's assigned to direct the movie, but the Russo brothers, I don't think they're doing it, and I would think naturally they're the ones to do it, but so that's going to be the biggest concern. Sorry about my lag. We're coming all the way from South Africa. But yeah, I think that's just the biggest concern. So you said no one's selected yet. It's a big job. They're going to have to do all of those things. They're going to have to bring every single person and more to the party, I think. And it's going to be a difficult one to pull off, but they have the material to do it.
It's absolutely going to be a tall task. There have been rumors that they could possibly get Ryan Coogler, the director of the first 2 Black Panther movies. You know, if you would have talked to me after the first one came out, I wouldn't have been very excited about that. Unpopular opinion, but I'm not a huge fan of the first Black Panther. But the sequel, most people don't like, but I actually liked better than the first one. I think that he could do it, but at the end of the day, just like the Russo brothers, he's going to have his hand held and he's going to be guided very heavily by Feige and the Marvel machine.
Of course.
Just like when you go watch the Russo brothers films that they've done after the MCU and after being guided so much by the MCU machine, it depends on your opinion. But
Yes.
I personally didn't love a lot of the Russo brother films, like the Gray Man. I wasn't a huge fan of. At the end of the day, no matter who's in that position, they're gonna have lots of assistance.
Yeah, it's not going to be an independent, unilateral decision. Exactly.
I heard it was the director of Shang-Chi, is what I thought I heard, was going to be doing it. Kang Dynasty, maybe they haven't announced anybody for Secret Wars yet.
I really want the Russo brothers because one thing they do, and they said this in interviews when it came to Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, they will read comics involved with that and know that they can't do it the way that it is exactly, but they try to take core elements and core characteristics from the characters and everything around them and try to put it in the story. And I feel like they did that perfectly with Civil War, Endgame, and Infinity War, which is why so many comic book fans resonate with 3 of those films more than anything in the MCU, in my opinion. Especially if you look at how Tom Holland's Spider-Man is portrayed. People didn't have a problem with how he was portrayed until after Civil War. I feel like his character regressed after Civil War, in my opinion, because they had the perfect starting point with him, and then they just regressed him to where he's like, I feel like I just want to be an Avenger. I don't really care about anything else. I really care about responsibility. And then Far From Home dug him deeper. But then they recovered him back a little bit after No Way Home. No Way Home was literally like, yeah, we're going to fix all the crap that we gave y'all. We regressed his character.
I didn't really have a problem with his journey that he went on in the Spider-Man films, but that's the thing. Films are subjective, and we all have different opinions.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care about all these cameos. I don't care if Lou Ferrigno's Hulk shows up and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, like, yeah, the sequence in Endgame where he says Avengers assemble and everybody pulls up. Yeah, it's a great moment, but moments don't make a movie. I need character arcs. I need a story. Right. I need to understand what that's going to be before I actually get too excited about anything.
You just made me think of that one scene in Spider-Man Far From Home where they're in the beginning talking in the school news. And he's like, does anybody know where the Avengers are? Does anybody even have a plan? What happens if somebody else comes? What do we do? We don't even know who the new Avengers are.
I mean, I think we know who they're going to be, but at the same time, I don't know that we've really been given the proper reason to care for them yet.
Exactly.
And it's probably due to COVID. All these movies are getting strung out. They aren't getting pulled together. It feels very, very disconnected right now, the whole MCU.
You know, we got the same thing in Phase 1, but like you said, everything was connected so well. Even throughout those first films, you know, you had sprinkled a little bit of Hawkeye and Thor, and they sprinkled a little bit of Black Widow and Iron Man 2. everything was starting to come together. And then by the time we got to the end of Iron Man 2 and then the first Avengers film, everything came together. We haven't gotten that yet. And that's what makes it tough.
Nobody's presence feels felt in the other films.
Yeah.
All the MCU projects so far, besides maybe Guardians 3, felt like, oh, this is just another Marvel movie. Didn't feel like a universe. It felt like you're just trying to sell toys.
Well, guys, this has been a very lengthy discussion, and I really appreciate you guys coming through. Folks at home, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the social medias. All the info will be below, not just for our channel, but for all these guys' social medias as well. And until next time, have a good one.